Yes, indeed, good people. Happy Monday to all of you out there in wherever you are. Y'all see what I got with me. I think he's still high off his Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Yes, he is a true Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, everybody. Made no mistake about it. My dude, Mr. Hawks beat himself. Eddie Power, E-Dub is what we call him on Media Row. What's up, my dude?
Hey man, thanks for having me, my brother.
Hey man, listen.
It's always a pleasure to chop it up with you and Glaze, man. So respect to the G's, bro.
Hey man, no doubt, no doubt. You know how we feel about you, man. You keep this content coming, man. You've had your hand on the pulse of this Atlanta Hawk team, and one of the reasons I had to reach out to you, first and foremost, when we reached out, the top story hadn't become even the top story yet. So let's start with that right there. Atlanta Hawks are deciding to move on from Lloyd Pierce. First, your initial thought when the news broke, and then we'll go sideways from there. Your thoughts?
The timing is interesting. I didn't foresee it happening right then, like right now. I didn't think he would make it throughout the season. I think his contract is up at the end of this year.
Right.
The only thing that surprised me was the timing, because you didn't. I mean, your guys haven't even got back yet, right? You know, Bogey's starting to come. You know, he's doing some running. Hunter will probably come back about a month after the All-Star break. You're probably going to get Cam back. I thought at the very least they would let him finish out the year, but that's the nature of the business, man. It has no heart.
So follow me with this, and I want to see if you kind of agree with me. When the news had broke early in the season about that, that team meeting, the trade John Collins thing. When I heard that, I was like, okay, it's kind of not spiraling out of control, because I'm like, teams have disagreements, teams have these type of meetings. But it seemed like when that news kind of got out, it started seeming like we started counting down the days of Lloyd Pierce. Your thoughts when that story had first broke early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, like you, I didn't make too much of it, because we all know that's what happens when teams get going. Now I can't speak specifically to the personalities in that locker room. I've been on record in saying that John Collins is the leader of the team,
right?
Because of if anyone's been around, he's just the leader. He's the rah-rah guy. That's no offense to Trey, but John Collins is the leader of the team. And I think there has been somewhat of a clash, of an alpha beta clash, i.e. Kobe Shaq, i.e. Braun and Kyrie, because John, the whole season, in the offseason, he was like, yo, I'm here to try to play for the All-Star. He really wanted to make the All-Star team. He's really been in that contract situation, and everybody knows whenever you start talking about the money, it gets a little funny.
Yeah.
Things didn't work out there. And so I think that there was a little bit of uncomfortableness between the two. I think they're fine. I think they're fine.
Oh, no doubt.
But I think that there is a little bit of uncomfortableness right there, because John, there's uncertainty there for him. There's uncertainty because they didn't lock him up, Yeah. And so he's going around looking at in the film room. He's like, why should I hold my tongue? You know what? And furthermore, he was right. Trey doesn't get into his head quick enough. And if you listen to a broadcast, I've heard Dominique say that 3 times within the past 2 weeks. He said Trey's got to go quicker there.
Right.
And I thought, right. I immediately went back to, that's what John was talking about in the film session.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But you have this day and age where you can't talk to everybody sometimes. Some guys are beyond criticism. And to be honest, man, I'm in a position where I can criticize these guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't. My paycheck doesn't come from Hawks Beat.
Right.
I'm not like Chris. I'm not like Sarah. I think they do a great job, and I don't cover the team like that. So if I want to call somebody out, I call them out. Folks don't like it. They haven't liked it at all.
Yeah.
I've called out Pierce. I've called out Trey. I've called out John. I called out everybody because I don't care. It is what it is. Tape
Right.
don't lie.
Right. And so we were all there doing the Lloyd Pierce introduction. One of the things, and now I thought about this earlier today once he was relieved of his duties. I remember his introductory press conference and how he talked about we're in the business of getting as many shots up as we can. And hearing him say that, it was like, because I mean, listen, this is kind of the way basketball is played now. I mean, it's new NBA. But at the same time, you kind of don't have those pieces where you have that many guys who can take those kind of shots. We kind of have a team where, listen, we may need to go inside a little more. And especially we bring in a Capella who, once he got healthy, it's like, okay, Trey, hey, you don't have to lunch. It's not Dame time. You not that.
See, man, this is why me and you vibe, because you and me are here. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even talked no Hawks ball in a while. We've been talking about football.
Right.
Yet still, you know exactly what I be thinking, And the thing about it is, like last night, John was rolling. John was rolling. And all of a sudden, in the fourth quarter, he only gets 2 touches, And there's a lot of time. And here's the thing. The easy thing for fans and the easy things to say, oh, let's blame the coach. But let me give you an analogy. If the Hawks are a NASCAR team and Lloyd Pierce is the driver, and each time around, he's not making no progress, the easy thing to say is, oh, we need a new driver. The driver may not be good.
Right.
But the reality is there might be something wrong under the hood.
The parts, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. The two things can be true. He may not be the best driver, but you may have a cracked radiator.
Right.
You may have a leak in the power steering. And that's the one thing that kind of you and I kind of understand, because you watch football, you watch it with your eyes. Right. And so you see the nuance. You understand blitz pickup. You understand coverages. Most people, they don't understand the game like that. They'll just say, oh, it's either the coach's or the quarterback's fault. That's it. But there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of reasons why the Hawks have been not winning ball games. And Lloyd Pierce, he may or may not be some of that. I mean, I believe he's got some culpability because he is the head coach. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of problems underneath that hood.
Yeah. And I think Las Vegas had, I remember the odds coming to the season, Vegas had the Hawks kind of set at like 34, 35 wins. And we've kind of been progressing as each year. But I think everybody to a man, from, the front office, the popcorn vendors, the beer sellers, the people who check us in down there for media. They would expect this team not just to be an 8th seed, but this team should be making a nice run into the playoffs. And listen, the East is kind of, they're kind of still in position, but I think from a wins total perspective, listen, I felt like this should be like a 36, 37. I was being greedy. I say this team should win 40 games.
You was being greedy. I said around 5.
I was being greedy.
Hey, I said around 500 at the beginning of the season. I said pending health. I always gave that thing. I said pending health. This is a 500 ball club. Right now, they're about a 41% ball club. They're winning at 41%. Right. Which, if you lose out your guys, that's pretty much what you are. Yeah. So let me run a little stat by you, and everybody listening. This season was set up to be, okay, we're going to add to the young core, right? Right. Trey, Herder, Cam, Hunter, Collins, right? That's the core. Right. We're going to add Capella. We're going to add some shooting because we didn't have shooting last year. Right. So we're going to add Gallinari. We're going to add Bogdanovich. We're going to add some defense for with Chris Dunn, and we're going to add some experience with Rondo. That was the plan. The amount of games that the core has played with the free agents is 1. Right. 1 game, and Gallinari got hurt 3 minutes into that game. Yeah. So I mean, that's what's under the hood, Mace. That's what's under the hood.
That is what's under the hood.
You're going out there with a triage unit.
Yeah.
You're going out there with the triage unit. So what happens is you go out there, and if your starters aren't magnificent every night, you get absolutely nothing from your bench, because guys that were supposed to be role players, guys like Solomon Hill, Tony Snell, who were supposed to get you 5 to 10 minutes a night, now they're playing extended roles.
They playing
on the wing. Like, Gallo's still just getting over being hurt. He's not playing no type of defense, and it's a mess under the hood, man.
Yeah. And this gonna sound crazy. I'm sorry, everybody. I swear, I'm sorry. Well, I remember when the Knicks hired Thibodeau, and I'm sitting here like, okay, he's gonna bring that, that grimy, gritty mentality, but that team not as talented as the Hawks, just in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They got, Julius Randle starting but I'm still sitting there like, I know this is going to be like a defensive first team.
Yeah.
Where the Hawks, if we're healthy and with our core, like you just talked about, we should be walking around averaging 115, 120, 125 a night. We shouldn't have the struggle that we have. But to your point, we had our entire team that intact. So, I mean, is this really Lloyd Pierce's fault? Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Here's the thing.
I'm frustrated.
He's gonna get it because he's the head dog. That's the nature of the business.
Always, no doubt.
And we understand that sometimes it's not necessarily fair. But I tell you what, when DeAndre Hunter went down, the Hawks were 9-9.
Yeah,
they were 9-9, and they've been. I don't even think they've played 400 ball since he's been out. It may be like in the 30%. They're winning 30% of the games without DeAndre Hunter. Here's another stat for you. The Lakers lost Anthony Davis for a little bit. As soon as he went out, they went 2-5. That's one man. That's the production of one man. Right. The Hawks lost Hunter. They lost Cam. They lost Bogdanovich. They didn't have Chris Dunn. Ain't even seen the court, and he's the defensive guy. Right. And so when you look at the Hawks, you see people tweeting like, "Why doesn't Lloyd teach these guys how to play defense?" Your defensive guys are in street clothes. Like, I don't care how good Trey is going to be, and I love Trey. Trey is not going to be a defensive stopper. No. Kevin Huerter is not going to be your stopper. No. John Collins, he's gotten better, but he's not a defensive stopper. You have one good defensive guy on the court, and that is Clint Capella.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. He can't play all 48 minutes. So folks get mad when you take him out and you give him a rest.
He need to blow. He need to blow.
The big you got to put in there. You got to put in Gallo. You can't put in Bruno because he's not ready. He's garbage. Double O's not ready. He ain't had training camp. He hasn't had summer league. He doesn't even get to practice. So he's like, you're just throwing him into the ocean. So you try to go small. Maybe you're thinking Gallo can hit a couple shots for you, but you give that up on the defense. Yeah. But now everyone gets mad at Lloyd because they don't know how to play defense.
Yeah.
And personnel matters, man. Personnel matters.
Personnel matters. As my guy Kiki chimed in, he said the Atlanta Hawks organization is faulty. And I think about this because we've all even like nationally, Travis Schlenk at one point he was getting a lot of love coming into this season because it was just like it seemed like he's making all the right moves. This team, they're progressively building this team to where they're with our core. I like that core that you keep talking about. This team should, as we've been progressing, Lloyd Pierce first year was like, second year you could start seeing the promise. And like I say, this season was supposed to be that year where like it all comes together. And again, Schlenk, his hands got to be a little dirty too in this thing.
Let me tell you something. The natives that already got one. The next person on that list is Travis, and I mean, I'm kind of I like Travis. I like Travis. I think he knows what he's doing. He bought some lemons. I wouldn't have done the Rondo deal. He bought some lemons, but you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have necessarily done the Rondo deal, but he did what he felt he had to do. He figured between Rondo and Dunn, all you wanted to do is stabilize that backup point guard. You just want to stabilize it when Trey goes out. And Dunn gets hurt, and Rondo has been terrible. He has been terrible. So you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You don't know. The thing with, and even you talk about the core. Cam Reddish hasn't been good. Hasn't been good to this day. And people don't like that because Cam's following is almost as big as Trey's. Like, and I don't understand why.
That Duke thing, it's the Duke thing, man. It's the Duke thing.
I guess it probably is. Like, I never understood it. Like, I was more excited about DeAndre Hunter, but everyone else was excited about Cam. And it's fine. I like both of the guys, to be honest with you. But I got to call it like I see it. And up till now, Cam has been nothing but DeAndre Bembry 2.0.
Yeah.
He's been a good defensive, but offensively, he's been atrocious. And I pull for my man. I want him to make it, but he doesn't drive to the hoop well. He's not confident in his threes. And no one's willing to shoot a mid-range shot except DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah. Can you remember the draft night? We take Cam and Slink, he's sitting up there, he all like, and they telling us this is probably the most freakish athlete in the draft. And they gave us all that. They even somebody at their press conference say he's like the Randy Moss of like. I was sitting there like, now listen, I watched him at Duke. Like he's a good athlete. Okay,
yeah,
but freak, I don't know. And to your point, it's like he was supposed to come be our defensive stop, but you was like, it's something like his offense has to pick up at some point. And man, whoa,
it's been a trope like that. And I don't have the metrics down there, but the metrics are bad offensively. Every now and again, he'll have a breakout, maybe 20-some. He'll have a good game, and everybody celebrates. And my thing is, the next thing for Cam is to put these games together, put them together. That's the next stage.
Right.
And I've given Cam a little bit of grace because, look, he is 2 years younger than DeAndre Bembry. Yeah. If you look at him physically, he's not filled out like Bembry.
No, not at all, man.
He's not filled out like Hunter. Hunter's a man.
Need to go to Waffle House. The dude need to go to Waffle House. I keep telling y'all, Trey, I said it when Trey first got, man, we got to take these dudes to Waffle House, man. We got to, all the hash browns, scattered, covered, smothered.
Get it all.
Man, dude, the first time, while we down there watching the warm up on the floor, I remember the first time Cam Reddish walked by, I was like, so he just didn't go by no weight room the 1 year at Cameron. The 1 year at Duke, he must have been telling Coach K, hey, I'm nice. I'm gonna be working on other aspects of my game.
But Mayfield, here's the thing. I really like Dude. I pull for Dude.
I do.
And people think because I criticize people or I bring up stuff, they take it personal. I don't understand. Just like you say, folks being their feelings. I'm like I'm just calling it like I see it.
Carl Thomas, Rav Trez fans out here, man. all the time, man. Y'all gotta stop being so sensitive about this thing, man, because this man got fired. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for him.
And some folks on Hawks Twitter, man, they were celebrating like it was like it was Mardi Gras. I'm like, yo, man, I ain't never celebrated a man getting fired like that. Like, it's one thing if you didn't think he should be the head coach, like that's cool. But folks are celebrating. I was just like, yo, man, like I want better for y'all.
Yeah, and this was crazy because we getting the reports now. Like the team found out on Twitter because Lloyd Pierce, he coached the walkthrough this morning.
Hey, that's cold-blooded, man.
He had his media availability this morning.
That's like in Major League when Willie Mays Hayes got cut before he woke up outside the facilities in his pajamas. That's dog. You don't do your man. He deserved better than that, man. Y'all could have just let that man stay on maternity leave.
Hey, you sitting there like, what? Like was like a secret meeting on Ocean Boulevard. that Lord, like,
Hey, but here's what I think, man. Here's what I think. I truly think because Travis is the basketball mind, right? Travis has pedigree. Travis got this job because Jerry West vouched for him. I still remember being at his presser. Travis is new to Travis is bona fide, right? So this doesn't seem to me like a Travis move because he's a basketball guy. Mm-hmm. This seems like a Tony Wrestler move. Tony Wrestler's not necessarily, he's the guy with deep pockets. I love Tony. He's done phenomenal stuff in the community. He's made the
PR. His thing is PR. So he is listening to the streets a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I like that. That's a good point.
This screams Tony Wrestler calling out his guy, Travis. I'm sick of this. I know you wanted to wait till the season. Let's do it now and just make it a clean break. We'll come back after the All-Star break and see if the new guy, the interim, whoever this may be, can do better once our guys get injured, right?
Yeah.
And so that way you got an interim guy the fans can be excited about. Why? Not because he's necessarily a better coach, but you got better pieces going into the next year, right? And so they knew they weren't going to keep Lloyd after this year. Yeah. They knew they weren't going to do it. And so, I mean, it's a bad situation because, look, what NBA coach in history has survived a rebuild? Nobody. Right. This is why Bud took money to go away.
Yeah.
Because he knew what the deal was. Bud been in this thing for over 20 years. Oh, y'all about to rebuild? I'll take 50 cents on the dollar to go away.
I'm out.
He knew what the deal was, man. So Lloyd walked into a situation where he was never going to succeed.
Right.
Damian Jones as your starting center. Yeah. Damian Jones.
Yeah.
Chandler Parsons, Evan Turner.
Listen, I forgot Evan Turner had a cup of coffee here. Man, that dude was
yeah.
But and it's funny you say that because I can remember draft night. We were down at the year we drafted Trey. We made the trade. We was down there. Well, they had the concerts. I can't think of the name of the place right now.
Yeah.
But and you sat there and you like, okay, so Lloyd is really probably gonna be like our gap guy.
Yeah.
He's going to get them to this certain point, and then we bring in like a veteran or a guy who kind of been through the ringer, and all of a sudden he's ready because this team is ready.
Yeah.
So now let's bring in guy kind of like what Philly is doing on the dock right now.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it's like this same Philly team. You add Doc, and now they like the best team in the East.
Yeah.
Until the playoffs, I keep trying to tell all my Philly people, just keep watching.
Yeah, keep watching.
Just keep watching because one thing we know about Embiid, he like, hey, look, all right, I'm putting up MVP numbers. It's time for me to get back out here. I'm a guard. I'm a big guard, baby. I don't want to be down here on this block in the paint. I don't do that. Ben Simmons, you go down in there, Ben.
Yeah.
You can't shoot. I can shoot. But it's just looking at this Hawks team as we get ready to move forward. Like, and I'm sitting here like, how do these guys play tonight? Knowing, again, how the information was given to them. I mean, listen, they do react to Lloyd.
Yeah.
Whether people think, he was a good coach, he's a bad coach. We've seen it up close and close personal. Yeah. These guys react to Lloyd. Now I think Nate McMillan is gonna be the interim.
Well, that ain't no guarantee. That ain't no guarantee because last I saw before I came on with you, they said Nate hasn't accepted the interim job because him and Coach Pierce are really, really tight.
Right.
So they are having a meeting like probably as we speak. Lloyd is going to have to push him into this job because Nate knows that, look, I don't really have anything to gain by being an interim coach right now.
Right.
There's nothing for him to gain. And
he's in Atlanta because of Lloyd.
And here's the thing. If you watch, and I covered the two games that Nate coached, the games that they won, every other word out of Nate's voice was Coach Pierce. oh, we talked to Coach Pierce. We just executed the game plan that Coach Pierce had. Coach Pierce had us in the Zoom meeting. He was very intentional about that.
Right.
Very intentional. So while everybody was heaping praise upon Nate, all he was doing was big up in his boy. You know what I'm saying? Nate is old school. And that loyalty counts for something. So it's not necessarily, a done deal. I mean, he probably will end up doing. I can see Lloyd talking him into it and say, hey, man, just go ahead and finish it out with the guys,
Right.
But I don't know, man. We'll see. It's going to be interesting.
Let's talk Trae Young. It's obvious that we know why he was drafted here in Atlanta over Luka. We know, you know what I'm saying, because Southwest Atlanta, Greenbrier Mall, Lenox, New Atlanta. Y'all with the rappers Quavo, y'all weren't gonna feel Luka.
Nah.
So let's bring Ice Trae in. This at this point of his career, this is year 3 for Trae. Your thoughts on Trae right now and what he's kind of going through right now.
Man, to be honest, that draft, I wanted Jaren Jackson.
Me too.
To be honest, I am a defensive guy, bona fide. I'm always like, you can't win without defense. That being said, I thought that when he came here in the rookie season, I thought he kind of sold me like, okay, we got something. But it will take if you watch that boy in Dallas, listen, I got drugged last week on Twitter because one night Trae had a bad game. He didn't close it out in the fourth quarter. And it was the same night Luka hit a game winner up against Portland.
Right.
And I said something about, what did Luka do in the fourth? Cats dragged my name all throughout Twitter. Like I was, saying they dragged me, bro. But my thing is this. Trae likes all of the lights. He likes all of the things that come with superstardom. And I think he's a good kid. I think that he wants to be great. I'm just not sure he can get you to the promised land. I don't think he can get you to the promised land. And that's not – it's just hard for guys that small to have an impact like that. Isaiah Thomas there's not many guys that can do what Zeke did. And Zeke still had Joe Dumars and other cats like that.
Yeah, Zeke was a dog. Zeke was a dog.
He was a dog. He was a killer in Chicago.
Dog.
And, I'm not sure Trae has that. I'm not sure he has that. I mean, he puts up good numbers, but this year, if you go back and look at fourth quarter games, there's been a lot of times you've been like, "Ooh, Trae, I wouldn't do that." And keep in mind, he's still growing. So I'm not going to bang him too hard on that. But last night, the score was tied up into the 3-minute mark. Trae tries to throw an alley-oop over Bam Adebayo. A first-team All-NBA defensive team. Why are you throwing that? Why are you throwing an alley-oop? Then he takes a 30-foot shot. Now, granted, he was open. I didn't love the shot, but he missed it.
Right.
And then you missed it. So now they go back and hit a 3. Now that's a 5-point swing.
Yeah.
You come back, Herter misses a 3, and now they're up 7. You come back, you miss a floater. Now they're up 10 because George Dragic hits another 3 on the way back down.
No.
In less than a minute. So I like Trae. I'm just not sure that he is a guy that you can say, okay, well, shoot, we got him. Everything's going to be cool.
Yeah. And for me, I got into a couple of Twitter beefs of, when I was talking about, when they're talking about, trade all-star snub. And I was like, I'm not going to call it a snub because of the way they've been playing. And with the okay, who are you going to take off the all-star team? Who are you going to replace and put Trae in? You going to move Kyrie? No.
That's what Jalen Rose said. Don't talk about snub until there's somebody on that list you're gonna take off.
Right.
I ain't taking nobody off that list, man.
Tell me, move Harden? No. Like, so he's not there. And I had this in my notes. One of the things, and you know this, I know this, people who've been around the team understand this. I think one of the biggest holes in Trey's game this year, his dad is not here. This is the first year that he's been in ATL by himself.
Good point.
I think people don't understand how huge they were, because we've seen it where after a game, and we go do press, we go talk to coach, we in the locker room, and then once Trey leaves, him and his dad, sometimes they back on the floor, whether walking up and down the court or just talking about the game, and probably no telling what they're doing at the house or outside of State Farm.
Yeah,
his dad say, you know what? I'm gonna take the handlebar. I'm gonna take the training wheels off him.
Yeah.
Let Trey. I don't think people really understand how important his dad was his first 2 years, and that's a point that I think a lot of people are missing, because I think a lot of the stuff we're seeing Trey do this year, he didn't do last year, because Mr. Young was in that same seat.
Yeah.
Every night.
Yeah. And I would talk to Trey's dad almost after every game. I would talk to him, and he doesn't even tweet as much anymore. So I think he's kind of like, okay, I gotta come off a little bit and let him swim on his own, because he was going to battle for his boy, and I don't blame him. I was going to battle for mine too. You know what I'm saying? But he had to realize that, look, man, I can't be doing this. Like I said, this ain't good for my health. So he backed off the Twitter, you know what I'm saying? And now, pandemic, I'm not sure he's at many games. So that's an excellent observation.
Yeah. Listen, I told somebody that preseason, I was like, we're going to have to watch Trey, because this is going to be the first year that his dad was not in Atlanta with him. And even though we're in the middle of a pandemic, these guys, they still kind of get out and do what they do. And I think that is such crucial, because you never heard about Trey, and you don't hear about it now, but he has a little more freedom.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with freedom, some things kind of, that you had that balance that you used to have.
Yeah, yeah.
When you move out your mom and dad house, like, for you be like, whoa.
It's different, and we've all been there, like in our 20s, that first time you get that taste of freedom, you're like, well, shoot, I don't got to go to bed tonight. Don't know when I got to make to go to bed. But here's the thing. You got to get up and go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
So no one's going to make you go to bed, but you got to go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
And so after a while, you realize, you know what? Why not just stay at the crib tonight? I got to go to work in the morning.
In fact, they rich on top of it. So I'm saying that's a whole different animal. Let's talk Kevin Huerter. I wasn't the biggest Kevin when we made the pick. I was like, I still kind of cringe, because I think what they saw in him at Maryland, and I think how they envisioned him fitting in with these guys. I don't think we're getting I don't think we're getting the bang for the buck. Talk me off the ledge. Am I wrong?
Here's the thing about Huerter. Huerter is, for all the guys about reaching their potential and whatnot, I think Huerter might be the closest to his potential.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
already at the ceiling.
If he's not at the ceiling, he's pretty damn close, right? So what you see in Huerter right now is probably what he's going to be. He's probably going to be in the league a long time, because he can shoot the ball. But this is what you are with Huerter. And I think that's why you brought in Bogey, right? You brought in Bogey that shot that Huerter missed the other night. Bogey was supposed to take that shot.
Right.
Bogey is bona fide. Bogey's going to knock down that shot. Huerter, he's had issues with his size. He's had issues staying healthy. He's not a good defender. And if he's not making shots, he's almost like Gallo. If you're not making shots, then why do I got you out there?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the aggression that you want for a guy that can shoot as well as him. Right. Every single game, listen to Dominique. Dominique will say, I just wish Huerter would do that some more. On my podcast, I go through stats every night. Huerter's never going to shoot more than 15 times. Even if he got the high hand. Yeah. He's never going to shoot more than 15 times. Last night, he had a terrible shooting night. But shooters shoot, man. So, like, I had no problem with him taking the shot in the fourth quarter. But you got to knock it down. But that's why you bring Bogey in. See,
Right.
everybody's out of position now. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's out of position with the injuries. That was supposed to be Bogey shot. Herter is supposed to be anchoring that second unit. That's who he is. He's a second unit guard. He's not a starting NBA 2 guard, in my opinion. He's not a starting 2 guard. It's just not.
Listen, don't get me to keep don't get me off this soapbox. Stay on it.
and the thing is, he's talented. He can handle the ball, and he shows flashes at times. You're like, oh, where did that come from? But then it'll go away for another 5 or 6 games. So he's lacking the same thing Cam is lacking, which is consistency. He can shoot the ball better than Cam, but you're giving up a lot defensively. And there's been times he's been really bad. Like last night, he had a career high 6 steals, but he played a bad defensive game. Yeah. Like the two can be true, right? You can have 6 steals, right, and play a bad game. Kendrick Nunn was eating on them last night. Both of them guards.
Because when people listen, we've seen that the guy down in Orlando who just killed the Hawks, the guard, every time he come to Atlanta, oh my God. Every time he see Herter, he like, boy, as Shaq say barbecue chicken,
barbecue chicken.
He waving people off, man. He like, listen, we're running 4 down.
Yeah.
We're running. Y'all just get out the way. Y'all clear all that out because it's just me and him, and he finna get this bucket.
Yeah. And they know what the deal is. And so it's like, as good as Trey is and as good as Kevin Herter are, they're never going to be lockdown defenders. And I don't care if you get Red R back to raise him from the dead and coach this team. They never going to be good defenders, And it's just what it is. That's why you need a guy like Cam Reddish and a guy like DeAndre Hunter to make up for, and a guy like Clint Capella to make up for that weakness at your guard position, because you not only been getting eaten up by guards. I did on my podcast last week. You've been getting eaten up by reserve guards coming off the bench. Like, I don't know what that's all about, but them guards in Cleveland, it was like a rookie came down and was eating on y'all. It was just, it's not even elite guards that are eating on y'all in the fourth quarter. That's embarrassing. Like,
and see, and this is what I'm saying. Everybody, trust me, check out Ed's podcast, Hawks Beat. Listen, in-depth Atlanta Hawks. That's why I had to bring him in today, because I saw too many tweets from people who clearly not watching this team. I'm like, y'all can't be watching this. But some of the stuff, y'all put the phone down, man. Please put the phone down. Please put it down. Before I let you go, I've been saying this from day one. We're gonna stay in the East. LaMelo Ball, man.
Killer.
LaMelo Ball.
Killer. Hey, let me tell you something. When Charlotte swept Atlanta on the games they played this year, every time they ran a switch, they was running a 5-on-5 switch. No, they was running a 4-man switch. So that means they switching everything except for Clint Capella. He's standing in the paint. I was watching, and every single time Trey got on Melo went for blood.
Dude,
bruh, when I tell you that boy is fun to watch,
listen, I'm gonna tell y'all now, don't get mad at me, whatever. I hit Fanatics, ordered my Charlotte Melo jersey. Listen, for a couple of reasons. It got the Jumpman logo, which is very fresh,
very cold,
very fresh. Charlotte colors have always been fly.
I need to find my Charlotte starter jacket from 1993. Boy, I gotta find out where that's at. I probably can't fit it no more, but I gotta find
it. I had that thing with the white Charlotte Hornet hat with the letters in that teal. Boy,
that was cold.
you couldn't tell me that before we close. Ed, and man, appreciate you jumping on, man, and helping educate the novice tweeters, the guys who this hot take society we in. They make me sick. Everybody want to run and get their 140 character on. We're gonna close with this. Pierce is gone. This team is gonna still be here. We're gonna have health issues. We should get everybody back at some point. If the season ended today, we think we'd be the 8th seed. I think.
Nah, they're 2 games out from the 8th seed.
See what I'm saying?
There's 2 games out from the 8th seed, but they're like 4 games out from the 4 seed.
Right, because
So
the
everybody's bunched together.
It's only 2. Listen, in the East, everybody, it's only 2 teams with winning records. Everybody under 500. Everybody. It's teams in the West are like, dude, we need to be in the East. Like,
For real.
Does this Atlanta Hawks team find a way to make the playoffs? Leaving that with the expert. Talk to me.
Oh man. It's so tough because there's so many things that you can't control with the injuries. I think that I said about a month ago, I said if they play 40% ball while they're injured and they come back and they play 60% ball, they can make the playoffs. All you got to do is make top 10 to make the playoffs. So that's not much of a stretch. You know,
Right.
they're daggone there now. You know what I'm saying? They're pretty much 10 seed now. So you're going to get Bogey back. You're going to get DeAndre back. And you're going to get Cam back. Cam's not going to be out for a long time regardless. You bring those 2 back, and you're going to easily play much better basketball with just the addition of those 2. If Trey and John keep on doing what they're doing, because what that's going to do is that's going to make everybody drop down a notch.
Right.
That means Rondo's not going to play so much. You're going to be able to hide all these guys who've been playing terrible basketball because those minutes are going to go to Cam. They're going to go to DeAndre. They're going to go to Bogey. So I'm going to say, yeah, they make the playoffs. They're going to make it by the skin of their teeth. They don't want to. They wanted that 6th seed where you don't got to get to play in. They'll probably make the play in now because they've lost some bad games.
Everybody, this is brother Eddie Powell, man. Check out his podcast, especially all you Hawks fans. Hawks Beat. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, when we on Media Row, I'm telling you now, I just look over his shoulder a lot of times, everybody. I say, hey, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to retweet what he said.
Yeah, we do work out here, man.
I be all in my feeling. Trey might make a pass. I just get so mad. Everybody get frustrated. I be like, man, and let me watch Netflix or something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My brother, appreciate you, man. Man, keep up the phenomenal work, man. And listen, I know you got your Tampa Bay Super Bowl gear. I know you're not already ordered it. Has it come back yet?
Yeah, I got it. It's in the house. It's folded in the drawer. I just took down my jersey over the weekend. I had my jersey hanging over the fireplace just to let it stew. My wife was so mad at me. She like, when are you gonna take that thing down? I'm like, I'm gonna take it down when I feel like taking it down. These things don't happen very often, so I'm gonna let it stew.
Dude, phenomenal season by your Bucks. Your quarterback got white boy wasted, and that's fine. You know, it was good. It was good to finally see him do some human stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
he is human.
You know, all that button up the Patriot way. Get that out of here, man.
Yeah.
Let Tom live, man. It should have kept the camera rolling because Giselle probably was wasted too, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, well, we all know how Bruce get down, so you know what time it is.
Oh man, come on, man. Bruce a brother, man. Bruce a brother.
Mr. Kango.
Man, listen, y'all see what I got on in the back? I got them Hornets playing right now, everybody.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I'm a mellow man. I'm all in. LeVar was wrong. LeVar should have just waited before he started popping off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was all on. He was all on Lonzo. Lonzo on his way out the league. Everybody. That's my guy right there, man. Eddie Powell. Like I said, check him out. Hawks Beat. Catch him on Twitter. And yeah, man, he like y'all. If y'all think I like to argue with people, he way worse than me. I just hit y'all with it. That's fine. He go back and forth, and then he start hitting y'all with them zingers and them facts and everything. See, well, I just pull out film for everybody. So he hit you with them zingers. I say,
Hey man, Basketball Reference is my friend, man. Basketball Reference is my friend. Hey, and one quick thing before we go, man. And it's just like, I just don't understand. Just don't tweet something if you don't know what you're talking about. That's my thing.
Dude, they can't help it.
Dude was on the timeline last night. He said, why is Lloyd playing the bench players more than the starters? I pulled up the stat box. The starters have played double the minutes of all of the bench players. I just laid it in his mentions and didn't even say anything to him. Think before you tweet, folks. Think before you tweet.
Hey man, they can't help it, man. They just it's something about this device right here that just got folk. They got them stupid. This is the easiest place. The couch and in the stands, the easiest place to coach and critique from. I
Oh yeah.
I tell you that all the time. Everybody, we appreciate you, man. Y'all stay down with our Hawks, man. Stay down with the Hawks. Matter of fact, I'm finna order. I was gonna order Cam Reddish with the Jordan logo, the alternate uniform. No, I'm not getting his jersey, man. I might just get my name on the back. Get my own name and number, man.
Hey, that's what you gotta do, man. Do that.
Everybody, again, y'all have a good night. Ed, appreciate you, my brother.
It's been a pleasure, my guy. Anytime.
Everybody, we gone, man. I gotta get ready for boot camp in the morning, man. I get to bed. Peace, my people.